All right, Beer Night followers, welcome to episode 13 of Beer Night. This is, I was going to say talking new metal music, but it's somewhat metal music wise. We're doing top 5 riffs or rhythm sections underneath the solo. That's right, we are doing an amazing top 5. We like to do things differently
Give it a
on
little
top 5s.
love to the band.
Yes,
not
to
to
rhythm
those,
sections, the drums, the bass, rhythm guitar playing.
not to those egomaniacal
No.
singers and those
No.
spotlight hogging lead guitar players.
That'll be next episode. Yeah.
It's giving some love to the band.
Band, baby.
Holding it down in the background.
Yep.
Just holding it down, doing what they do.
Usually I go first. This time around, I'm going to let Chris go first because he is a lead guitar player. So I want to know what his rhythm section is like. What does he like as a rhythm section underneath the solos that he likes? So this is kind of tailor-made for him almost, maybe. Yeah,
Well,
no?
to start, what I like in my rhythm section is if it doesn't include you.
Well, it never will.
Kidding. He's actually played rhythm section under some of my leads before.
Try to. Very short, briefly short.
So it was fun. It's fun while it lasted.
It's all right.
So this is tough. This is a tough because
this is very hard. This you will not see anywhere else because I've scoured the internet on top 5 rhythm sections and riffs underneath solos, and you can't find it. So this is a rarity right here. You're getting it here on Beer Night.
What makes it tough too is for me there's a lot.
There is a shit ton.
Because what's always kind of drawn me to music and what drew me to play guitar was just hearing the whole picture.
Yeah.
Right? Because what makes a solo is not the solo itself. It's it is absolutely what is going on underneath. And I'll talk about that in my top 5. It's all a part of the whole. Yes, the lead guitar player is taking the spotlight.
And usually the lead guitar player is kind of like in the spotlight during that section.
It's no different than a lead singer, right?
Yeah.
The lead singer's taking the spotlight when they're out there, talking their bullshit to you. But I've always felt that the music, that's going on behind the lead singer, is just as, and sometimes more important than what the lead singer is doing. And I wouldn't even say sometimes. I would say the majority of the time. Because, honestly, come on, singers let's be real, they're overrated, right? It's coming from lead guitar player, right? Shocking that a lead guitar player would say that the singers are overrated. But it's the same with lead guitars, right? What is going on behind the lead guitar enhances the solo to the nth degree.
Yeah.
The same way it does for vocals. Okay? So without further ado, let's go ahead and
What
get started.
is your top 5, baby?
So I don't even know if I can do top. Like, I'm gonna have a lot of honorable mentions as usual. I'm gonna take up this entire fucking spot. Steve's gonna have no time. It's all gonna be about me. Shocking, right? Well, but hey, you know what? It's about fucking time that the lead guitar player took fucking time away from the singer. Right?
All right.
I love it. So, you know what? Number 5, I'm going to go a little off board here.
All right.
I'm going to start it out with a bang.
Yeah?
With a bang biscuit. And I'm going to go a little weird. No, that's Dan Patrick, dude. Come on.
All right.
Biscuit.
All right.
Fred Durst loving motherfucker. Speaking of solos. So, okay. There's no guitar solo to speak of in this song.
No?
Not a one.
Oh.
But there's solos galore in this song.
Huh?
I'm talking about The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh.
Charlie Daniels Band, baby. So,
all right.
In particular,
all right,
the Devil's solo.
I'm digging that.
The Devil's solo, the breakdown underneath that solo is nasty.
Yeah.
That bass where the dun, 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 I mean, it's right up Metalhead's alley, right? Like we could hear the palm muted guitar riff right there. Like you could hear it. Like I wanted to cover that song for a while too, so I even wrote shit to that to where it's like it just makes sense. Like, and then that fiddle comes in,
Yeah.
does that really screechy high pitched thing. It's just spacey and nasty and weird and in your face, and it's like to me it's quintessential hard rock metal song,
Yeah.
right?
All
But
right.
it's a fiddle,
It's a good one.
and
It's a good one.
the band behind it is just going
Yeah. Oh, they always. Yeah.
just
Come on,
jam
man.
their asses off. Like those dudes can
Yeah.
fucking play. And so that's what we're talking about here, right? The backup band
Mhm.
is just destroying, right? It's setting the stage for this fiddle battle,
Yeah.
and the band is just shredding. Like they're just holding it down, and tight as a motherfucker in the pocket, just going, and playing riffs.
That's what rhythm is. In the
Yeah.
pocket. Stay in the pocket, baby.
So, but that breakdown riff of the devil solo, but even then, when it's I don't know, let's call him Johnny because it seems to make sense. When it's Johnny's solo,
Yeah.
like that kind of that hot beat, like, and the drums and the bass are just killing it. Like it's awesome. It's just such a great listen, and for such a like, and there's the stop starts in there too at the end, and like it's just great. It's great on so many levels. So this is where my top five gets a little murky because I don't really know what order this stuff should go in. So and even my number one, I'm not really sure it should be a number one. So I'm kind of tempted to say this is in no particular order here.
All right.
So next I'm going to go with The Unforgiven by Metallica.
Oh,
So
that's interesting. All right. It's an
there's
interesting one.
something about that. Like the lead is so great. The solo is timeless. It's such a great solo. But I find myself always listening to the rhythm, or at least hearing the rhythm too. I hear them kind of. There's like a call and answer feel there.
Yeah,
where it's like
to the lead.
It's a simple rhythm. It's just Lars is playing a simple beat. James is just playing some heavy power chords, but there's just a feeling there and a bigness. It's big and it's thick.
Yeah.
And that makes the solo stand out so much more. It brings the solo to the forefront while also making the rhythm huge. Like it just feels fat.
Yeah.
It's fat and it's thick for a song that's a ballad. Like it's a really soft song, but it just has this like there's just that background of the solo just brings it to another level. That's again what we're talking about here, right? So it helps that the lead is great.
Yeah.
But I've always, whenever I've listened to that song and heard that lead, the lead grabs you by the throat, and it's so memorable. But despite that, you always hear the rhythm. I've always heard the rhythm going on in the background, which says something.
There you go. Number 4. What's your number 3?
Number 3, I think I'm gonna go Back in Black, AC/DC. So,
all right.
So there's just a driving force to that song, and speaking of call and answer, right? The intro to that solo coming into that, the with oh god, dude, just like that's it right there. Like I can hear that over and over and over and over. The way the rhythm calls to the lead answers, and it just shifts back and forth. And then when Angus starts going off with these blues licks over that heavy Malcolm Young signature riff, right? And it's simple, but it's in the pocket. It's tight, and it's just grabs you by the face and says, "Listen to what the fuck we're doing here." And it's awesome. Like it's so much fun to listen to. So much fun to play because it's just a jam, man. It's nasty. It's fucking.
That's
nasty.
a good one. I like that one.
It's and then there's a second solo too. The second solo, same thing, where it kind of plays off that original call and answer thing.
Yeah.
Where I really like how the first solo does the call and answer and then leads into Angus playing his blues. Yeah. His kind of aggressive blues solo over this heavy hard rock riff, and it just works. But then the second solo kind of plays onto that and still does the call to answer thing, but kind of like changes it a little bit and adds a little bit more note structure in there. and still plays to that motif, and it's just nasty, man. It's fucking great to hear those two guys just.
You get that nasty face too.
Yes, exactly. It's like, it's mean. And it's two little teeny ass Australian dudes just fucking jamming on guitar,
Jamming their ass.
loud as fuck. You turn the amps up, it's just fucking, just going, man, and just having a great time. There's nothing like it.
All right.
Number 2, I'm gonna go War Pigs.
So okay.
So honestly, right here, I could say I could really do any Geezer Butler rhythm over any.
It's like instead of War Pigs, it's more like Black Sabbath, almost like just pure Black Sabbath rhythm section.
But what
is what it is?
There's 2 major solos in War Pigs, but really I could say the whole song, and then really I could also say many of the leads that Black Sabbath do. One of the things that always struck me about Black Sabbath rhythm section is there's no rhythm guitar, right? So, and they don't overdub rhythm. There's plenty of bands, Alice in Chains comes to mind, right? Well, there's one guitar player, but every single lead has a rhythm guitar dubbed underneath.
No, Black Sabbath doesn't do that.
No, it's always just the bass and drums, and it's you hear it, right? There's that kind of the mid range just drops out. It just drops, and you just hear the lead guitar with Geezer's fucking perfect bass, and then Bill Ward just doing whatever the fuck he's doing back there. He's just Bill Ward is this drummer that's just kind of like, he's so unconventional.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like he's like an alien. He just does his own thing, and it just works and works and works and works. And Geezer, you could almost say the same thing about Geezer, but Geezer's a little more structured. But what's cool about Geezer is he's playing bass like a lead guitar. It's almost like there's 2 solos going on at once. And a lot of times Tony Iommi dubbed 2 separate lead guitar lines, and this happens in War Pigs as well. So you almost have like 3 solos going on at the same time, and they all just blend together perfectly.
This is a fucking fantastic
and
song.
Exactly. So it's like it's
great section. Yeah.
It's just like listening to it is just hearing like the stars align with these guys, and it just sounds like, and they make it sound so effortless. Black Sabbath always sounds so effortless. But there's a reason for that. Yeah. It's because they're really
great musicians. Great shit.
And Geezer's an amazing bass player. Bill Ward is an amazing, easy drummer. It makes it sound so simple. What he's doing is not simple at all. But there's this kind of mesh where it all comes. The puzzle pieces all fit together. They shouldn't because it kind of feels like everybody's doing their own thing. But then it all comes together, and it's beautiful. And it's magic, right? And War Pigs is just one by default because it's one of their more epic songs where there's lots of bass going on, lots of drums going on. There's lots of things going on. But there's so many others. Even the solo to Iron Man, which is relatively short and abbreviated, but the bass
is fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And the drums are just going. And it's a crazy rhythm section of that band. Never gets old. Like you get something you almost get something new with every solo if you listen closely enough to what's going on. What's cool about it is you kind of are bouncing back and forth. Like you listen to the lead, you're like, yeah, this is badass. What Tony's doing is badass. And then you hear the bass and the drum, you go, oh,
you almost got to listen to that song like 3-4 times just to get what's going on between each section.
And it's rewarding, right? It's rewarding.
It's rewarding each listen. Yes,
because you start to hear the bass. Yeah. Because first you hear that loud ass distorted guitar, right? And obviously you hear Ozzy shouting at you. But then when you listen to it 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 dozens of times, you hear the bass. You hear what Geezer's doing. You hear the nuances of the drums, how the drum fills come together, and just the timing and the structure, which is really War Pigs is a wacky structure. It makes no sense. The structure makes no sense. No. But in the flow of the song, it works so perfectly that it's a masterpiece, really.
What is it? We're on number 1, right? Number 1.
So number 1, and this is why I said no particular order, because I'm not sure this song deserves number 1, like as in best rhythm ever.
Yeah.
But it's what immediately came to mind, and so I have to give that credit. It's what when you say that, it immediately pops in my head. And the reason for that is because I've always thought about, God, the rhythm under this solo is so awesome, and I've thought that for so many years, and I
Yeah.
just thought it's so cool, and there's so much going on. As soon as you said that, it's like it's what first popped into my mind. So I'm thinking to myself, well, it kind of deserves number one spot for that, right? But it's Blackened, Metallica.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So
For some reason, that's a good fucking call there you go.
it's
It is
fucking.
fantastic.
We talked about
Yes.
how Back in Black is nasty. Blackened is fucking nasty.
That's a
The
good call.
rhythm under that is so here's what's so cool about it. And this happens in other shows. It's not like this is the only song that does this, but here's what's cool about it is everything that happens underneath that solo does not come up anywhere else.
No.
And there's like 5 different parts.
Which is fantastic because you want something different underneath the solo than because usually solos are like rhythm sections are predicated under like the main riff or the chorus riff. Usually it's very rare that you have something completely different underneath the solo section.
One of the things I always loved about Metallica is they don't always, and they're not the only band. I'm not going to act like that. But what they do a lot is they come up with, and Unforgiven's a good example, right? It's a compelling section that shows up nowhere else in the song. It's a compelling rhythm section that shows up nowhere else in the song. So it's like, they don't always do that, and there's plenty of their solos that are amazing where the rhythm section does play just over a normal part of the song. But there's others where it's like, God, what the band is doing back there is like, they don't do that anywhere else in the song. They just did that for the solo, and it's sick. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Blackened is an insane example because it also goes through a lot of transitions, right? It's a long-ass solo. It goes through a bunch of transitions. Every part is pretty much a part that doesn't appear anywhere else in the song. So there's the one part which is the chorus riff that does show up, but the way it breaks into that is just awesome, and it's just the flow. It's just and it's just so disgusting. Like it's just I hear that and I've always how it breaks back and forth between this nasty kind of groove, heavy ass riff, and then goes into a thrash riff, and then back to the chorus, which is kind of groovy but kind of chordy progression at the same time, and then back to a thrash, and then it comes out
crazy.
And then when it transitions at the end into a syncopated version of the main riff, and the way it comes out, and Lars' drums are syncopated, he's going on the upbeat, the riff is going on the downbeat. It's just madness. It's madness, and it's so awesome, and it's such a fun ride and a fun listen. And that's what I always think of when I think of a badass rhythm section underneath the lead, and it makes the lead so much better. The lead's badass, but the lead would not be what it is without that twisting, turning rhythm section going underneath that's just playing crazy, mean-ass shit that can easily be overlooked if you're not listening closely enough.
So. That, my friends, is a fucking fantastic top 5 from Chris. Rhythm sections.
We're done. I got honorable mentions.
Honorable mention.
Hey.
What is your honorable
mention? I got a lot, dude. I got a lot. So I'm gonna try to keep it brief. Some of them I might expand upon a little bit. Achilles' Last Stand, Zeppelin.
That's a good one.
So I really like how the song's super progressive. But when it gets into the lead solo, it goes into almost like a slight psychedelic, a little bit of Pink Floyd element going on, and kind of slows it down, and the bass playing, dun, 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 and the drums just kind of grooving. It's a really cool feel change. It's really cool.
That's in my honorable mentions as well. So I won't say that one, but that's a good one.
Freebird. I mean, Freebird's easy. It's kind of cliche. It's kind of stupid, right? Like your face there, right? Because it's the band just jams its ass off, including the lead guitar players. The rest of the band just jam their ass off. So it's kind of like, duh. Steve's number one right there. Ember City by Mastodon. So I really love the riff behind this. I really love the riff. So the riff behind it is fucking fantastic. I know you've never heard that one before, right? So
Never.
No More Tears, Ozzy. Oh, come on, dude. It's so very much like The Unforgiven, where it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple what's going on, but it just drives it hammers the nail. Dun, 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 dun. It's awesome, and Zach's lead, like that's just God. It adds so much cherry to that fucking song. That's just awesome. The Sleep, Pantera, kind of a sleeper.
That's a sleeper.
Kind of a sleeper.
That is a sleeper one. It is one.
It's just
Okay.
I really love the.
Yeah.
It's another one where it's a riff and kind of a groove that doesn't show up anywhere else in the song other than underneath the solo. There's two solos, shows up under both of them, and it's just awesome. Like it's just kind of this easy kind of spacey groove, and then the lead just shreds over it. It's awesome. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Pink Floyd, the slide solo part 2.
Oh, that is a good fucking call right there.
The slide solo. Dude.
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
when that slide solo comes in, it's so awesome.
Oh,
the band jamming behind us. Bump. Just like that hop.
I did not get that one, but that's a good fucking call right there. Good call.
Awesome. This is a sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
Raw. The band Raw.
Yeah, Raw.
The song Sky.
Sky.
They have like 3 solos on the entire album.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the main riff that the solo goes under, but the way it kicks in, and the note structure, I really love the way it kind of just flows. It's a great song,
it's a good one.
Tighter and Tighter by Soundgarden.
All right.
Another one where what's going on underneath the solo does not happen anywhere else in the song, and it's pretty epic. And then Humans Being, Van Halen.
I was waiting
for the Twister soundtrack.
I was waiting for a Van Halen call.
So I don't know what it is, man. I just love that solo.
Yeah.
And I love what the band does underneath it. What the band does, again, makes it. Because it settles into this almost, again, psychedelic, kind of dark, almost kind of depressing groove. Yeah. And it just works so well for what Eddie's doing.
All right.
And it's awesome. So Respect the Wind, Twister soundtrack, and now Humans Beings Twister soundtrack. We've covered both.
We did.
Following along. So.
A bunch of
awesome Van Halen stuff.
Good stuff. That's a good, solid list. Good honorable mentions. I cut some. I
only took up 23 minutes.
Only
23 minutes.
All
no big deal.
I'll go quick. Obviously, I'm gonna go my top 5. Right, number 5. I'm surprised this was not in your honorable mentions or your top 5.
Okay.
Mastodon the Sparrow.
That's great. It's great.
Fucking fantastic, because that riff underneath the solo is not in the song, period. It's a completely separate riff from itself, so it makes it... I concentrate more on that riff more than the solo. It's a fucking fantastic riff. I kind of wish that riff in that solo section was prominent more in that song, to be honest with you.
But see, what's
it's
cool
fucking fantastic.
What's cool about when we talk about stuff like that is that what makes it cool is that it is that. It's that it's not prominent elsewhere in the song.
Yeah, so that's what makes it so cool.
It adds this nugget of coolness where if it was in the rest of the song, it wouldn't be as cool.
It's like dun 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 dun. It's fucking fantastic. Listen to that song, Master.
I know we always do it justice when we start going. Like
always.
You really get the feel of the song when we do stupid shit like that.
My number 4, Death, Flesh, and the Power It Holds. Fucking
top 5, huh?
Top 5.
It's great.
It's number 4 because A, it's a bass and drum cymbals. That's all it is underneath the solo, and it's fucking awesome because the solo fucking kicks ass. But the underneath stuff is just bass, and it's not even drums. It's drum cymbals. All is like, it's fucking fantastic because it makes the solo section stand out so much more, and it's freaking amazing.
And Death is a pretty fucking underrated band.
Underrated fucking band.
We should talk about Death more. We don't. I don't know why. Maybe because they're pretty niche, but they're pretty fucking underrated.
My number 3, I know you're trying to figure out a Dream Theater song, right? right? You're like, okay, there's got to be a Dream Theater song somewhere in there, right? So they have awesome rhythm sections, right? Fatal Tragedy from Metropolis.
Oh no, that's good.
Right?
I like that.
Right? Fucking
Oh,
Mike Portnoy
good stuff.
and fucking the bass player is fucking going fucking gnarly
Yeah.
with the fucking keyboards and the.
No, that's really
it's
good.
fucking
It's really good.
fantastic
It's really
rhythm
good.
section. I usually
No.
even after the solo section's over and they do the melodic shit underneath it at the end, it's fucking fantastic.
No. See that is definitely one that I overlooked because whenever I listen to that, it's not
Good
just
shit.
guitar; it's also keyboard solo.
Keyboard
There's
solo,
both
keyboard
going on.
solo, and guitar solo.
There's guitar and keyboard solo, and man, that rhythm it just
fucking
drives it,
kills it.
drives it.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely
drives it home.
because it gets me pumped every time. I'm like, yeah.
I want
like
keep going.
And the solo is basically just icing on the cake, but the rhythm is the meat.
Mike Portnoy in that rhythm just that section alone, is fucking destroying it as well. He's a fucking phenomenal drummer as well, fucking killing it.
And the rhythm guitar, which is John Petrucci, he's the only one, but he overdubs rhythm like I was talking about with Alex and stuff like that. It's simple, like I was talking about with like The Unforgiven and No More Tears. It's simple. It's just a but it just drives
so
it's a
much.
freight train.
Yeah,
it's a freight train. It's a great choice.
Good choice. But number 2, and you've done 2 Metallica songs in your top 5, right?
Yeah.
I got one Metallica song, Hit the Lights. That fucking ending track of that song, I've tried to learn that rhythm section on bass, and like fuck, I give up. I don't want to play bass anymore. It's fucking insane. It's fucking phenomenal rhythm section at the end of that song. It doesn't that rhythm section doesn't fit in any of the songs in the beginning of that track as well. It's completely different like section.
And it's long.
It's long as fuck.
Long,
It's like,
which is what makes it. It almost kind of makes it more awesome because it just keeps going and going, but never loses your
ends.
interest.
No.
Never loses your interest. It never gets boring. It's just like keep going, man. Keep going. Keep going.
That whole song, the fucking bass is fucking going off like crazy. My number 1, you mentioned this in your honorable mentions. Yes, this is my number 1. Leonard Skinner Freebird is fucking fantastic rhythm section.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking jam fest. You can literally go on for fucking 10 minutes if you fucking want to in that section. I love how it changes. It goes slow. And then it speeds up at the end as well, and then you go back to slow. Like if you're fucking playing it live, it's fucking fantastic.
So if as a lead guitar player, if you have a band that does that type of shit is a lead guitar player's dream because you can just go, go, and the band is just there, laying the foundation for you to do whatever the fuck you want because the foundation is there. Without that foundation. Without that fucking sick ass rhythm section, you can't do shit as a lead guitar player. You are boring. That's basically what you're boring. That's it.
So, quick side note from my band Sire, the song "The Devil's Grip" in his current old band. My band.
Your band.
My band. And your band, the artist. I always forget how.
The Artist and the Actuary? Is that what
Actuary. There's that solo section where I don't know if you've ever played live with them, but there's that part where you can expand it live, right? Yeah. Right? I know we've done it with Sire like a couple times, and it's fantastic when you can just expand that solo section however you want it. And that's what I get with Freebird.
Well, and now to be fair, that section is a little more subdued than Freebird. Freebird is much more peppy.
It is.
However, I really needed to be able to expand that live, I really needed the rhythm section to carry it, right?
Yeah.
Without that rhythm section giving me what I needed, I could not go off then. So I couldn't do it.
No.
But when the rhythm section was giving me what I needed, when I felt the bass, when I felt the drums, I would just lose it.
He would lose. He would go fucking crazy.
Yeah,
We would go like 3 to 4 minutes extra with just a
Yeah.
solo, and it's fucking fantastic. You actually, I might be able to fucking download that and post it on here of live me playing bass, Tom playing drums, and then you playing guitar. I might be able to upload that, and you can see that. But it is fucking fantastic when this guy goes off. That's what Freebird gives me the vibes. That's why it's my number one. Because you can go off on that song.
What's cool
It's fucking fantastic.
about Freebird is it's epic, right?
It's epic.
There's that build and crescendo.
Yeah, it's epic.
But then as soon as you think it crescendos and it's coming down, then
it fucking goes back up. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
It's good
it
shit.
keeps going, and it never loses your interest. It's compelling. It's compelling all the way through.
Yeah.
Even though it's just solo, it's just jamming, like you said. It still maintains that energy. It maintains the energy, and part of the reason that it maintains the energy, a big part, is the rhythm section. Absolutely,
great shit. All right, that's my top 5. I'll give you a couple honorable mentions. Some Black Label Society. I love Berserkers and In the River.
In this river
Sections, especially In This River, where it's just piano only, right? And it's a cool section, especially what that song means to Zakk Wylde and fucking Pantera and all that shit. It's fucking fantastic. Rhythm section with just piano. It's great shit. Black Sabbath, obviously, I put that in my honorable mentions. Iron Maiden or Pigs. Really, any rhythm. Iron Man. Black Sabbath is obviously the pinnacle of rhythm sections. Period. They're fantastic.
They stand out so much.
And Bill Ward stand out so much. Down, Bury Me in Smoke.
It's pretty good,
right?
It's pretty good.
That song that ends that New Orleans NOLA track, fucking fantastic. I actually know how to play drums to that, so it's fucking fantastic. Rhythm section right there is awesome. Megadeth Holy Wars is a fucking fantastic rhythm section. It gets me pumped up. I know how to play that on bass, so it's fucking just fucking fantastic to fucking. The solo is amazing, but the rhythm underneath it.
You and your fucking man.
fantastic.
I'm out of beer, so I can't drink all your fucking. I gotta get a refill.
Shadows Fall.
Ghosts of
Past Failure.
No. That's a great one.
That's a very metalcore. I think it's very metalcore.
Stop. No,
it's a fantastic rhythm section.
But the solo goes way beyond metalcore.
We're talking about rhythm sections. It's a very metalcore rhythm section, but it's fucking fantastic. Solo on top of it. It's amazing.
The rhythm section that is fantastic. Yeah. I was actually looking for a Shadows Fall because I was like, there's got to be. I know this Shadows Fall rhythm that I'm missing here, and that was the one because I do love the rhythm section of that song. It is fantastic. That could have easily been in my honorable mentions. Might have creeped towards the top 5.
You're welcome. Pantera Domination. Fucking fantastic rhythm section. The solo is obviously fucking king on that, but the rhythm section fucking holds it tight, especially the bass part in the first solo, because there's 2 solos on that one. First solo is fucking fantastic. Rhythm section underneath it's great.
The second solo is just kind of like a fill.
Anything Rage Against the Machine. I couldn't pick one, but Rage Against the Machine has a fucking awesome rhythm section, especially what
I got a good one.
Tom Morello does. Yes.
I got a good one for you.
I couldn't pick one.
Take the power back. Take the power back. Great rhythm. The drums and the bass behind that solo, badass.
Yeah. In any other rhythm section underneath the guitar solo on Rage Against the Machine is fucking fantastic. They have a good fucking
tight as fuck. Like them and AC/DC.
Oh,
so Rage and AC/DC basically epitomize the phrase "in the pocket."
Yeah, fantastic.
That's
pocket.
Tim Comerfeld and Brad Wilk and then Malcolm Young and oh shit, I'm blanking on the Phil Rudd,
Phil Rudd,
and the bass player. I'm forgetting the bass player for AC/DC, but yeah, those are like the walking incarnate version of In the Pocket.
Yeah.
That's what they do. They're just tight, like constantly there.
Mm-hmm.
So reliable, so reliable. Like as a guitar player, as a lead guitar player, fear not, because they got your back.
I hope you liked our top 5 rhythm / riffs underneath solos, because you only find this fucking here. It's all you get. Fucking Beer Night, episode 13, rhythm sections, baby. That's what we got for you. I hope you enjoyed it.